Boys, you can have big biceps all that you want. If you move like a wet sock and you're stiffer than a cardboard box, then I find it completely useless. Why else have muscle if we can't unlock it? But good news for you, it's not gonna take that much time. It comes down to the correct exercise selection. If you pick the right exercises, that is a lot of what mobility is predicated on. So without further ado, let's get in today's video. All right, we're not here to play any games. Actually, first order of business, if you're new here, we talking like absolute gentlemen, and yes, that includes during the mobility exercise itself. However, what we're gonna start off with is the first forgotten movement, which is the Zercher deadlift. Now, I'm gonna teach you guys how to progress with this because you're probably thinking, Uncle Rami, I can't be doing all that. That looks like you're doing way too much, right? But that's what we wanna progress to. However, when we get started, we'll drop this on the ground, get these weights out of here. You know how much I love you boys? This is after a leg day, by the way. I'm seeing doubles, but this is what we're here for, right? You guys didn't ask for a sob story. You guys are here for better mobility. That's what my dogs are gonna have. However, the way we wanna get started with this is you wanna get your feet shoulder width apart. And I like to do is almost take my fist and put it in between. So that's kind of where you want your feet to be. In the beginning, you might have to actually start popping out. That way you have a little bit more mobility we start progressing in. So you're gonna start off all the way up here. And what I want you to do is however wide you need to go, just work on trying to get your hands underneath the bar. Just like that. That in itself, you're probably not gonna be able to do, but this is what we're progressing towards. And don't worry, there's gonna be another exercise on this back end, but it's important to understand how exactly to progress with this. Otherwise, you're going to hurt yourself, right? Or you're just not gonna do it. So in the beginning, like I said, you just wanna start getting your elbows underneath, work on that, and then eventually you'll be able to go closer and closer. In the beginning, you're gonna have to go a little bit more wider stance, but the goal is to get our feet a little bit closer with one another, right? Once we start getting to this point, you might struggle being able to do all the way up. So what you could do is start off standing up, right? And what you could do is just kind of come down. And if you find that this is where you stop, or even if it's up here, that's fine. Roll back up. And you're gonna come down and be like, okay, let's go a little bit more. You're trying to hit mobility PRs. And then you come back up. And then eventually, as you get more comfortable, you're gonna be able to touch the ground. And even then you can do a pause and then work on it to where it drops on the floor. Then you wanna shoot out your hips the proper way. Shoot out your hips. Let everything else roll out. If you understand to shoot out your hips, everything else will follow. You don't have to be mechanical with it. And then from there, you'll just keep on resetting, shoot up, boom, just like that. Now, the second exercise is probably gonna be a little bit more your medium. Crusadia will be the very first digital country. You heard me, digital nation, digital country. When I say it, there will be citizens, there will be mayors eventually, and then there will be residents. However, for the very first few, because I am only gonna open it for 1 week, you will have instant citizenship. You will create the country with me because the biggest problem in the world today is two things. People wanna massively improve their lives. But take it a step further. They are forced to do so in a way that is completely isolated. The reason why they're isolated is for one reason. And what's that reason? You have bad company around you, you're kind of forced to isolate. And that also means, you know, you get to do things your way. And that means having heart in a beautiful spot. But the problem is you want to massively improve your life, but you're forced to do it by yourself. That's why things like monk mode have been glamorized. And it's because no one's been able to solve this problem. This is exactly what I aim to do. If that sounds like you, you're the outlier in your life, you're the outsider, you're someone that hasn't been able to do the things that they want to do with the people they love because they don't get it, this is what I'm creating it for. I've had to do this thing all by myself, and let me tell you something, extremely overrated. But I had to do what I had to do. And all I'm doing is leveraging what I've created over the last 2 years to where it's a home for all of us. The internet's an incredible place because it's global. You're no longer confined to your local environment. And that way you actually get to go off into, and this is cheesy, quote unquote war with your boys. Not, hey, for the weekends, I live for the weekends, then during the week I hate my life. That's not how we do things here. We are here to take over. I promise you we're gonna reign king. Waitlist down below. And guess what? You might just one day be able to have some heart hanging out with all the rest of the Crusaders. It's exactly what I plan on to do, and I'm looking forward to seeing you inside. And I'm gonna show you a couple ways you can do this, but Cossack squats. And you can do them with dumbbells in the beginning. That way you can go super light, or you can go with just the bar. So all you're gonna do is kind of get your feet a little bit wider. And you're gonna go back just like this. And you're gonna work on getting a little bit lower and lower. In the beginning, you're probably gonna notice that you have a sticking point here. That's okay. You wanna work that friction point. Just work on it. Even if you're doing pulsated reps, it's okay. You're learning. All you're gonna do is work on going side to side. And I like to do with these is a lot of people just kind of go back and forth with them, which isn't bad, but we're here to work on mobility. So you might as well take your time on each side. It's about quality. Then you can start playing around, getting your foot up, working this, working that friction point, sinking lower and lower, boom. Then you go to the other side. You do the same exact thing. Work on it, crank, boom, move, boom. And then as you start to progress, oh, I can feel it in my hips, dude. Feeling absolutely phenomenal right now. All right, that's enough yapping. Sometimes I wonder why do you still empty the energy clip every day? You've made it quite far in your life. You deserve to relax. You deserve to take a break. And then you realize that breaks the rules of the natural crusaders. One of the rules is to never bind your own hype and to never sleep on a win. You sleep on a win and you wake up with a loss. And that's why people always fizzle out. And it's because they've bought into their own hype. We don't do that shit because it's not about us, right? Anyways, so another progression you can do with a barbell. Work on that. See, my mobility is so good, I have to be careful of where I'm at. But that's a good thing, right? I've worked hard for that. You do the same exact thing. And like I said, if you prefer a barbell, you would just start off like anything else. Both mobility exercises. You are progressing just like you would a bench. You don't just show up to the gym first day and throw 315 on the bench. No, you progress, right? You started off with just the bar, felt like a weakling, and then you move forward. It's the same thing with mobility. You're gonna feel stiff in the beginning. You'll probably be like, I can't do more than that. Perfect, that's fine. It doesn't really matter because then from there, you'll just be able to just get up, get your feet adjusted, kind of start back and forth, get right into it. And you'll be able to sink real deep. Even for me, I have a lot more room for mobility. Work on the friction points, back up. That's it. That's the game. Ooh, the only thing you'll notice is your feet will get some good work as well. All right, let's wrap this up. There you have it, boys. Another video down the hatch. Listen, it's a really important one because I do get a lot of questions about my mobility, right? Like I said, it's cool to have big muscles, you know what I mean? Feel absolutely diced and big. But if you don't move the way you look, it doesn't matter because the way you feel will not follow. That's the point. Your process should give you something besides just, oh, I've done X, Y, and Z. It's about trying to find these weaknesses and turning them into a strength. It's about taking L's in our body and turning them into W's, just like real life. Like I said, even if you have ridiculous muscle, great strength, you need to think about unlocking all of that hard work you have built up in the gym for years or in your training, whatever. It's the most important thing. I can assure you when you do this, even then the muscle even comes in a bit denser and a little bit better. Once I started taking mobility seriously, I kid you not, upper body and lower body, muscle started really layering on different. I don't know how else to explain it. The muscle just, you could tell it looked different. It looked fuller. It didn't look inflated. It looked extremely dense. And I can even say that I feel a lot more dense, but it almost feels like I don't have any extra bullshit on my body. Like it's all gone. And honestly, because of mobility, it's almost like biologically your body has to shut off the bullshit. And it's like, hey, we have to be able to do these things, so this isn't serving us. But it's not just about what we do inside the gym also. It's about what we do outside the gym. If you're in great shape, that's fantastic. I mean that. You're ahead of like 95% of people. But don't settle. You want to take what we've done inside the gym, and I promise you, success in all other areas of your life looks like the exact same thing. If you can be successful in just one part of your life, you know how to be successful in every different facet. I can assure you, and I promise you, don't settle. You can always do more. Anyways, I appreciate watching this video. I hope this is well worth your time. If there's anything you guys want specifically, maybe even on this subject, maybe it's like, hey bro, I'm not here for mobility, I'm here for gains and philosophical talks. That's fine. It's what I'm here to serve. But it was something in my head, I was like, I don't feel like doing mobility. So I put up the camera, and it's a good way of keeping me honest as well, you know? Just because I do it doesn't mean I like to do it. but the rent is due every single day. Regardless, anything you guys want specifically, drop it down in the comments. You guys know I go through every single one. I love you guys very much. From Uncle Rami to the Natural Crusaders. Crusadia coming to you June 22nd. I cannot wait. This is going to change the game, and it's my way of really giving you guys something that you guys have pretty much been asking for, but I'm just building it out in a way that really gives you everything, you know? And the thing is everything doesn't mean as in like, I'm gonna give you everything you've ever needed in your life. It's about building a new world, essentially. And I really do look forward to it. But regardless, I love you guys. Uncle Rami out. Peace.